And you can see how this coverage is not altered at all, as every defender covers their assignment despite run committing it before the play started, as we get a knockout to end the play, compared to how these safeties react to a run play from a different formation, as they meet at the running back in the backfield. If you guys need fast, cheap, reliable coins for your ultimate team, check out my coin sponsors at MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 6% off your order. Link in the description below. The champ is here! Welcome back, Money Team. This is Madden Money Shot, sniffing out the college cheese as always. In today's video, I'm going to go over a new run commit exploit. There's a lot of people that say this is a glitch, but to me, it's pretty obvious that EA designed it to work this way. But that doesn't mean that there aren't certain defenses that are better to do this from than others. So I'm going to break all that down for you guys, show you guys which are the best defenses to do this from, that have the least amount of penalty versus which defenses have the most amount of penalty when it comes to the new run commit system, as well as showing you guys how to beat this if somebody's doing it against you. But before I do, as always, if you guys want to see more videos like this, please make sure to be a subscriber, hit the like button, let me know in the comment section. Other than that, let's go right into the video. Now, I'm using my 425 defensive ebook, which is something that I originally put out for Alabama, but there's a lot of different playbooks that have the 425. I'm using Penn State, so all the plays I'm going to show you guys are from that. But just to let you guys know, in my ebooks, I don't necessarily go over things like run commit glitches and stuff like that. I really just teach regular football. So if you guys want to learn more about how to play this game properly, you can download this or any of my ebooks instantly simply by clicking links in the description or the top pinned comment. Now, I'm going to first show you guys how run committing is designed to work so that I can show you guys what are the best and worst defense to do this from. Number one, we're going to start off with zone. I'm going to start off with cover 3 match, although this will be me going over cover 3 match and cover 3 sky. When it comes to defenses like zone coverage, anytime you have a deep zone or a deep designated zone, it will not have a run fit, and run committing will not control it. So on a play like this, we have 3 deep zones. If I run commit, if I hit RBR1 down the right stick, it might add them to the play art, but they will not react. They will not drop down at any point in time. Any deep zone assignment is not going to do that. So we'll go and we'll play, let the run play here. You'll see how everybody on the inside, all the short zones and all the mid zones, the flats and the hooks, they all react. And if you're watching the replay, you can see that the deep zone cornerback and safety on this side here do not react to the run commit. Although you will give up wide open passes over the middle, you at least won't give up easy one-play touchdowns deep to simple things like streaks like you used to in the past. And that includes defenses like cover 2, where you have 2 deep zones that'll react the same way, but you also have a lot more mid zones. You got 5 mid zones compared to cover 3, which I think only had 4. But this could be a disadvantage if your opponent is passing, as you'll see. I'll run commit once again, and all the mid zones with the exception of the 2 deep safeties are going to shoot in for the most part, or at least freeze. As you can see, one defender just didn't move at all, and you can see how basically every receiver is going to be open except for over the deep middle here. Like I said, those 2 deep safeties there, you can see them dropping back, but everybody else pretty much shoots down. So for cover 2 and cover 3, the deep zones aren't controllable by run committing. But what about things like cover 4 match, where cover 4 quarters and cover 4 palms are basically the exact same defense? On a play like this, you'll see if I bring my run fits that the safeties are already in run fits, because cover 4 is an aggressive style of run defense. So if I run commit with this defense, you're going to see how these safeties are going to completely take themselves out of the play, with only the 2 outside cornerbacks reacting to actual passing concepts. So if we do this again from a run commit, you'll see how these safeties are going to drop down a lot of times to the point where they're in the box, or at the very least stand still like 49 did there, who still got beat to the outside. Because this particular style of defense, these 2 safeties are not designated as deep defensive zones. They're not. The cornerbacks are. As you'll see, they'll still drop back, or they'll still play their routes first, but the safeties will either drop down very aggressively, or this guy here didn't move at all. And while this could be a bad thing if your opponent actually passes, it's actually a benefit if your opponent is running. So in the future, if you know your opponent's trying to run the ball, so they're trying to run the clock on you, and you guys run up the middle against an actual run play, you're going to see that these safeties are going to drop. Everything is going to drop except for these cornerbacks. So basically, you're going to have a 9-man run commit, which makes this the biggest penalty for run committing when it's wrong, but it's also the biggest advantage for run committing when it's right, which is why I think EA left it in the game this way. But how do defenses react that have no deep zones, like a mid blitz or a man zero blitz? I'm going to show you guys this next, as this is probably the most used defense in the entire game right now, especially online. And then I'm going to continue to pick the PA case scissors, which is the play that I picked pretty much this entire time, because I wanted to show you guys the difference of how man coverage works when a tight end is off the line of scrimmage like he is here, where he's basically split out like a slot receiver, compared to when he's inside the tackle box, as that is really what determines how man defenders react when it comes to run committing. If I show you guys this specific play here, which I try to bring up the run fits here, it's just a 6-down defensive lineman. If I guess run up the middle, it's not going to change, and that's because the offensive personnel package doesn't have any tight ends at the line of scrimmage, which is typical of a play where you're going to get that run commit look. So like I said, we'll just let the play run like this, as you know, everybody basically does their job, although obviously we've got a really quick sack, so it was hard to tell because we are sending more than they're blitzing. But normally safeties in zones would have some sort of reaction, but you can see here everybody just covers their assignment exactly like they're supposed to. Now let's see what happens if I change offensive personnel packages. Now I'm going to pick that exact same play, but on offense we're going to pick a personnel package that has multiple tight ends, although you're going to see this reaction from any personnel package that has a tight end at the line of scrimmage next to the tackle. But we're going to pick the all go play just to accentuate this point. As we'll notice this time, number one, if I show my default run fits, whoever's man to the running back is automatically in a run fit, which is something that wasn't typical of more spread offense. But number two, if I run commit or run up the middle once again, the two safeties that are covering these tight ends are going to automatically switch over to run fits, and they're now going to basically blitz to play the run, which is something that we couldn't get in a previous look. So man defense is not necessarily inherently whoever's in man defense is going to drop back in coverage, or it's not like zone where you can't control these guys the same way you could deep zones. It really depends on what the personnel package is on offense. If you have tight ends at the line of scrimmage like this and you run commit, these guys will run commit, and it'll also be in a position where they can get, you know, just completely blown off the ball the same way they would have been if it was a receiver in the past. As you can see now, the tight end's wide open for an easy touchdown. So if your opponent is using this run commit heavily against you, all you really have to do is go to an offensive personnel package where you have tight ends at the line of scrimmage, and then you can see how you can have a huge advantage. Either one of these guys would have scored, as the computer took way too long to figure it out. But there still is a heavy penalty when it comes to run committing from man zero blitz, depending on the offensive personnel package. So to me, the fact that you don't have such strong penalties when it comes to run committing from zone actually makes it a much more viable option to run commit more often from things like cover 3 match, or more specifically things like cover 2, especially if your opponent is running like a really hard to stop outside run play and you don't know how to stop it, something like a halfback stretch. You could always pick a play like this where you know that if I run commit, or if I accidentally blitzed all there, but if you run commit, if I bring up the run commit or the run fits here, you know that these outside cornerbacks are going to shoot in on the outside. So if I have somebody who's running the ball outside like this and I can't stop it, because there's not a ton of great outside run defenses, you can always run commit from this look, and it's going to give you one of the best opportunities to stop these outside runs without the actual penalty of giving up easy one-play touchdowns. So I actually think it's a pretty good improvement over the previous system, because in the previous year, if you were in a man zero blitz and you ran commit the entire game, when College Football 25 came out, and I think when Madden 25 came out, you could run commit the entire game and they would only go after the running back if it was an actual run, where if it was a pass, they would actually follow the pass. So to me, it's an improvement. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and if this is something that you think is overly glitchy or overly exploitative, or if you feel it's well balanced, because me personally, I feel it's well balanced. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Other than that, if you guys want to see more tip videos that I already made, I'll have that pop up on screen, so just click links. Until next time, thanks for watching, man. I'm shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.